Today in our 2004 Nissan Murano, we'll be installing the Curt T-connector vehicle wiring harness with 4-pole flat connector, part number 55571. To begin our install, we'll first need to go ahead and remove some interior trim components. Starting with the floorboard quarter panels, we'll go ahead and pull up on them and then remove them, setting them aside for reinstallation later. Next, we'll go ahead and raise the spare tire cover and remove the cargo tray. Next, we'll go ahead and remove the rear threshold. To remove the rear threshold, we'll remove the 3 fasteners that secure it. And then using our flat-bladed screwdriver or an interior trim panel tool, you can get underneath of it, simply pry it up, releasing the fasteners underneath. We'll also need to remove the lower plastic cargo trays on each side. To remove these, you'll need to remove the 2 fasteners, Note, it can be easier to remove these if you remove the cargo hook, which is secured with 1 fastener, and the handle bezel that goes around the rear seat handle release. Now that we're able to pull the carpeting back on each side, it'll make it easier to pull these cargo trays out. Once we get the cargo tray out, we'll set it aside. And with the carpeting pulled back, we can gain access to taillight wiring where we'll be making our connections. Starting here on the driver's side, we'll now locate the taillight wiring. We can see it here. It's the white connector that's got some foam wrapped around the socket side of the connector. To separate these 2 connection points, we'll press on the locking tab and then pull them apart. Now we can take our new T-connector harness, and this will be the yellow, red, and brown wire connector, and plug in line with the matching connectors for the manufacturer's wiring, plugging into the socket side and into the tail light connector side. Next, we'll need to connect our power wire. On this application, the manufacturer has a port back here, which is just under the threshold on the driver's side. We'll cut the port free and plug into it. Now we'll go ahead and take the white wire coming from our converter box, which has a pre-attached ring terminal, and will be the ground connection for our converter box. Using the self-tapping screw provided with our install kit, we'll go ahead and secure it to the body of the vehicle. Choose a location where the sheet metal doubles up for a thicker, better connection. Here on the driver's side behind the carpeting is a perfect location where the sheet metal doubles up. We'll go ahead and take the green wire and T-connector, follow the manufacturer's wiring over to the passenger side, and repeat the same process of making this connection. We'll press the locking tab and split the 2 manufacturer's connection points, and plug in line with the matching connectors for the manufacturer's wiring, plugging into the socket side and into the tail light connector side. Tuck our wiring back in behind the carpeting, and then secure it as we route back over to the driver's side, using the zip ties provided with our install kit. Now that we're on the driver's side, we'll need to mount the converter box. To mount the converter box, we'll use a 2-way adhesive provided with the install kit. We'll take the 2-way adhesive, peel back the cover from one side, and adhere it to the converter box. Then we'll go ahead and remove the adhesive from the other side and attach the converter box here on the driver's side below the taillight assembly. When connecting the converter box to the vehicle, you want to make sure you have a clean, flat surface to adhere to, preferably sheet metal. Now with that done, I'll go ahead and take the remaining zip ties and secure the remaining wiring. And with that done, we're now ready to go ahead and reinstall the interior trim components. As we do so, we'll route the 4-pole to the center of the vehicle into the spare tire well. Alright, now with everything reinstalled, we'll need to move to the engine compartment. Here we'll go ahead and locate the fuse box located next to the battery. We'll need to remove the cover. To remove the cover, we'll press on the locking tab and lift it up towards the windshield. Now with the cover removed, we'll locate the T-toe fuse point, which currently has a 30 amp fuse installed. We'll remove this 30 amp fuse and install the 10 amp fuse provided with our installation kit. We'll go ahead and replace the cover and close the hood. We'll move back to our 4-pole assembly, where we go ahead and test and run the operation of the 4-pole. To test our new 4-pole, we'll go ahead and simply use a test light. We'll ground it to the open post, which will be the ground for our 4-pole connector, and then test each connection point for running, turn signal, and brake lights. Now with that done, and preparing to use our new 4-pole connector, we'll simply route it out of the spare tire well and down to the hitcher accessory. Being careful to stay away from the latch, as pinching the wire in the latch can harm it. However, the weather stripping is thick enough that we can simply close the rear cargo door on it. Then, once we're finished, we'll go ahead and open up the latch, raise the spare tire cover, and store it down in the spare tire well. And there you have it for our install of the Curt T-connector vehicle wiring harness with 4-pole flat connector, part number 55571, on our 2004 Nissan Murano.